All right, Coach, after a pretty solid outing at Indiana, you're going right back there for the Indiana Relays. What's kind of on the agenda for this weekend of performance-wise, what you want to see?
Well, it seemed like last weekend we went to Indiana and we were shaking off some of the rust from the winter break. We were proving to ourselves that we can compete at that level, the Big Ten level, and I think we ended that meet proving that was the case. We're going to go into this weekend, same facility, some of the same teams with a little bit bigger of a chip on our shoulder to go in there and prove that not only can we compete with them, but we're going to leave there a little bit more happy this time. Our momentum's shifting in the right direction as we set up the rest of the season. So it's nice to go somewhere where we're familiar with the meet schedule, the facilities, the food, the hotel. So it's going to be a nice return trip to Indiana.
The sprints had a pretty solid weekend with a couple of good performances, both on the men's and women's side. Jeremiah Hunter putting up a big 60-meter, and the 400-meter runners really showing what they can do and what you expect them to do. I guess what's the next step for this unit to take this weekend?
The way we train is relatively safe in terms of injury from an injury standpoint, and we progress from each week with just a little bit more of a athletic stress, and that can do one of two things. They can stress the athlete out so they don't perform as well on the weekends, or they adapt to it over a certain amount of time and they have PRs. Last weekend was a week that fell in our training where they could have a personal best or season best. So most of those were expected improvements. This weekend, it's a new week of training, a little bit more or higher stress. So the chances of them PRing is going down, but again, being familiar with the teams we're competing against, the facilities, those variables are going to help them compete better. This weekend is kind of a step in the right direction. It's Mayo after this that we're going to have a week of improvements and big gains on the MAC list.
And to that end, with the last meet of the opening month of indoor, springboarding into a little bit closer to the MAC Indoor Championships, how do you use this event as kind of a springboard as you're starting this new next training cycle?
Well, some of the athletes said, like Emily Hooker, for example, is running the 600 instead of the 400. So she's ranked #1 in the conference in the 400. So doing what she did last weekend kind of opened up a new opportunity this weekend. The groups that I've worked with have a strong reputation in stepping up into the 600 and setting a school record. I don't know if Emily will do that. She has the ability to do that. But that's one example of what happens when we progress like we're supposed to, perform like we're supposed to, and then each weekend it opens up new opportunities for the athletes. I think we might have a new leader in the 400 after this weekend. Emily, while she's #1 right now, she's not running it this weekend. We have some other people running it that haven't really opened up in that event yet. So again, we're able to shift around this week, and everybody's not running their normal events. They're kind of jumping in either to a longer event or a shorter event to see what they can do either way.
Good luck this weekend, Coach.
Thank you.